Hi, this is Ayushmann Khurrana.
And this is Andrea Kevichusa.
And you're watching Good Times.
Good times.
Cheers. Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Coffee आ चुकी है. अब देखना मैं क्या करूँगा. पी नहीं है अभी तक लेकिन
क्या करूँगा? I'm just waiting for that moment. So welcome Ayushmann and Andrea. And Andrea, I would say welcome to, I wouldn't say Bollywood, Indian cinema, but in this case, Bollywood. How does it feel?
It's been going really well so far, and I've received such a warm welcome, and yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to my journey here.
Have you gotten used to the promotions? He's an ace at it.
I'm getting there.
Give
me a few more months. Give me a few more
months. I do
months.
this thrice a year, but she's great. As a debutante, she's brilliant in the film and also with the promotions.
Awesome. And she packs a mean punch in the film. So have you been at the receiving end?
Fortunately, no.
Goodness.
But Ayushmann, also it's your 10 years. आप भी अनेक हैं, लाखों में एक हैं और अनेक हैं आप. So, I mean, how's it been like these 10 years? You've had your own journey too, yeah? There have been terrains, there have been plateaus, there have been valleys and everything.
That's life. I think that's life, and it's beautiful. And it makes you prepare for greater heights and greater peaks in life. And this is something which I always wanted to do. Because the kind of cinema I do, it will always be challenging and risky. But I'm really proud of the journey I've had and the kinds of subjects I've chosen with the help of the script writers and the great directors. So it's all been great.
So you come across as an actor who has been highlighting socio-cultural issues in the kind of movies he's been doing. Article 15 with the director, and you now team up for something that is so relevant, because I say racism is not what we face outside, we face it within our own country, and also to accept our own, because we tend to, say they are not inclusive, this is that. India, they feel, is just this. This does not exist, that does not exist for us, for many people. So was it a conscious decision to lend your face to this particular narrative?
Absolutely, because I have had friends from Northeast during my college days, and Anubhav Sir, even he was, I think his yoga teacher is from Nagaland. Okay. So we have, it's like first-hand experiences for us, because they were very close to us, and I've seen that in college, in my music band and my theatre group. We had students from Northeast. So I guess it was there in my head and also in my heart. So when I was touching all these social issues while being an actor, so this was top of my mind always. I've also been to Northeast for work and for vacations. Huh. So it's a beautiful place, and this is the time to just be as inclusive as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Andrea, lovely to see you, because I remember the time when Mary Com came. They had their own, because everybody said, why not an actor from there? But they wanted an A-list actor to portray it because of commercials. But do you feel with this film, because we've had Lynn made her debut, and then we have a couple of other actors, and we all forget the great Danny, who came back in the 70s, but they've all been typecast and stereotyped, where Danny always got the bad guy roles to play the other. Do you think this will now, going forward, since you now become the face, narratives will change? Because we can look at stories across India and,
Yeah. That is something that we hope for to achieve with this film, definitely. And I've also noticed, I mean, I'm not too familiar with Indian cinema as a whole, but as far as I know that a lot of people, like the actors from the Northeastern region, when they try to make it in the industry, they are pigeonholed into playing the same character again and again. There's a lot of underrepresentation, and when there is representation, it is very often misrepresented as well. And I would like to see a time where someone that looks different than the generic Indian be cast for roles that are not, like, the ethnicity is not the focal matter, like they are cast because of their talent and because of what they can offer to the table, and not because they are the different looking person on set.
Yeah, Ayushmann, do you agree that will happen?
Completely agree. I think she has mentioned this for the first time, and it's a very valid point. I was thinking about the same thing. Yesterday somebody asked her that, are you getting more roles and stuff like that, and I was like, there should be a time when there's a rom-com with probably a girl from Bombay, a guy from Northeast or Ladakh, and when we should not talk about racism or any such subject or any such follies in the society, and it should just be a generic rom-com. I think we can only achieve that if there's inclusivity in the society.
Absolutely.
Because you don't see that person with a different gaze.
True.
You know, with an alien gaze or whatever.
Absolutely.
So I think if that happens, that will be a true victory for the entire society.
And also that we should stop saying Arunachali actor, Naga actor, South Indian actor, because no one says
Yeah.
Punjabi actor,
Exactly,
Marathi actor.
yeah.
Do you think, I
Yeah.
hope we do achieve that.
Yeah.
And you've been making that effort for representing communities, but you do realize that whenever there's a Ayushmann Khurrana film, people, the perception is it would be something that would highlight something. Maybe people don't want to see you doing a rom-com now. Ye kya kar raha hai yaar, ye to thodi hoti hai film. Does that weigh on you? Because I know you're trying to balance that with commercial and all.
I tried my hand with rom-coms, but didn't work. Yeah, with Bewakoofi and Meri Pyari Bindu. See, I've done that, been there, done that. But I thought ये तो चल नहीं रही है, मुझे तो कुछ अलग करना पड़ेगा. But I'm fortunate that I got these great subjects and great script writers and directors who had a certain vision, and I'm here because of them. And with Anek, I think it's a very different texture. We've taken Article 15 forward.
Yeah.
The genre is same, the passion is same, and of course we've dealt with something which is very serious. It's a hard-hitting film, and I'm sure there'll be a change of heart in the people who will watch this film in theaters.
So too.
And it is a very special film.
And was it easy for you to resonate with Aido at levels and also, I mean, seeing your little frail frame, I don't know, that boxing, was that the tough one? Because she's so convincing.
I will say, you know, it was definitely the physical aspect of it was very challenging because I'm not at all a physical fitness person. But I think her character is very interesting in ways that, you know, she's just trying to understand and trying to explore the reasons why she's not as Indian as the rest of her teammates. Because if you remember the scene in the trailer when her coach is like, we can't get her on the Indian team because if she is on there, is it an Indian team or a Chinese team, you know? So she's just trying to understand why she's not at par with the rest of her teammates. And you know, she thinks that representing the country in the, like on the international is like the way to kind of prove her Indianness, when in fact, you know, I feel like because I was born in this country, or like anyone in this country, be it South, North, anywhere, is born in this country, so they are Indian because of that, you know. And you would expect to be treated and, you know, the same way as anyone else, regardless of what I look like or what languages I speak or what food I eat. So yeah, I mean, it was a very interesting take on that, and I mean, I hope I did her justice because she's a very like strong, liberated woman, you know, and I don't know if I can draw too many parallels on that in real life, but yeah.
What was it like working with him? And when they came to you that you are working with, you know, the director and this actor, what was it like, the nervousness, anything?
Of course. I mean, like when I first got the role, they didn't tell me. Like I kept asking them, who's my co-actor, but they were like, no, we're not going to tell you now. And then like only much later into the process of me getting into, you know, the psyche of like Aido, they were like, okay, we can tell you now, you're going to be working with Ayushmann Khurrana. And like, I was like really delighted because by then I was like pretty, I would say, well versed with his work.
Okay.
And you know, like it's not like a very generic, I mean, I don't mean to be insulting to anyone, but it's not like a generic like actor from like, you know, like he's like, Ayushmann Khurrana is like well reputed for the work he does, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this is a really unconventional debut, you know, to be working with Sir Anubhav Sinha and with, you know, Ayushmann Khurrana. It's, I mean, I don't think it could have gone better.
Yeah. See, your co-actor said the same thing, the audience perception is the same thing. And everyone feels that this is an actor who carries his social responsibility seriously, when many don't feel like voicing it, but you do. So is that a natural process? Are you drawn towards that script? You've spoken about the rom-com, nahi chalti, wo nahi chalti, ho gaya.
Of course, I'm drawn towards such subjects, for sure. I've mentioned that earlier also, that I used to be a street theatre actor, and we used to touch upon a lot of social issues and portray them in a certain way. I used to just have like street performers out there and perform for different cities, different colleges, college fests. It's an extension of that personality. And also, I think it's just, I believe in cinema for change.
Yeah.
And I endorse that, and I'm glad that people are accepting this, which is beyond the realms of commercial Indian cinema. It is beyond song and dance. It's beyond those things, though I enjoy that as well. those kind of films are also very important.
True.
Because I've also done a Dream Girl or a
Yeah,
Bala.
of course.
And your box office success really, I think it just takes these films forward in a way, because these films get a wider reach if you are a commercial actor. So those films are very, very important.
But that's also, I mean, one would say it's a risky training, but I think there's conviction comes from within to be so convinced and determined to do this, because somebody else would say, okay, fine, let me also try that. This, because everybody's saying, nobody's talking about talent and what the movie's doing. Everybody's got one stick formula, but this is working on the box office. And of course, the divide between the industry, South versus North, why can't they treat it as just Indian films,
Yeah. I think it's beyond India. It's not just South and North. It's Bollywood, everything. Like we were discussing before the interview about Korean music or films.
Absolutely.
Or shows. They are so popular in India. Turkish shows are so popular in India. So from across the border, music is so popular in India. So we are a pan. It's a global audience.
Absolutely.
It's beyond boundaries, it's beyond languages. That's why anybody who gives you entertainment, they will consume it, be it South or Marvel. We have never seen a Spider-Man score 30 crore opening in the past, or a Doctor Strange opening to such big numbers.
True.
But it's happening now. Like, South films are doing great. So it's just the connect with the masses.
Absolutely.
It's irrespective, whether it's Hindi, English, Telugu, Korean,
Absolutely.
Turkish, anything.
Absolutely. I think we've all jumped across that one in subtitle, and we are trying to, I'm making an effort in learning another language. But tell me honestly, both of you, which is the craziest stereotype or perception you faced? Because I remember when I was in college in Delhi University, I had my best friend is from the Northeast. I remember somebody asking my classmate who was from Arunachal, "Aap China se aaye hain?" And he was like, नहीं मैं चाइना से नहीं आया हूँ, मैं यहाँ से आया हूँ. Literally, I know that just comes from within. अच्छा, आप कहाँ रहते हैं? अच्छा, अरुणाचल. वो कहाँ होगा? Literally. But which is the craziest thing, both of you, and also being a Punjabi, I have faced enough of it. Your surname is strange. Another community will say, oh, you all people just don't have culture and class, which is the vaguest thing that you have as a Punjabi and as somebody from the Northeast have faced and made you do the eye rolls, like, really?
I've been fortunate enough to not have faced, that level of discrimination that badly. Of course, that is not to kind of brush away what I've experienced, because it's still bad. When I first moved to the city, the usual name calling and everything, but like words like chinky, I mean, it's trying to separate me because of the way I look, but there are a lot of negative connotations attached to that word as well, like the stereotype people have of people that look like me being, having like loose moral characters in the city, or that's what's attached to that word.
That happened.
And I feel like people don't realize that, and they just kind of throw it around like that, or maybe they know how deep that word is, and they still use it to hurt us. And besides that, I mean, even like I would say, I mean, it's 2022. Like you can't not know where Nagaland is. It becomes willful ignorance at this point. If you're still like, where is Nagaland? Is it in the country? When are you traveling back home to your country? And I have experienced that when people have asked me when I'm going back to my own country, and it's just like, I have an Aadhaar card, So yeah, I mean, I think things are getting better, and that's what we hope to achieve with this film, is that people take it upon themselves to educate and sensitize themselves on these issues, maybe not just with the Northeast, but also with other minor communities in the country, because racism and discrimination is prevalent everywhere.
Absolutely, because everybody in the South is Madrasi, everybody up North is Punjabi, everyone here, and even the Far East, they'll say, "Ab sab Chinese," irrespective, they're Japanese, they're Filipinos, everybody's Chinese. Have you ever faced anything that sometimes made you do eye rolls or heard something like,
I have not, because there are two reasons. Because I was in college. Normally you feel, you get these discriminatory remarks when you're in school or college. But I was in Chandigarh.
Yeah.
School, college, university. But when I came to Bombay, even Bombay is not, it's just it's a
like a
metro
melting
city,
pot, yeah,
it's a cosmopolitan city. So actually I have not, but I've seen people getting these slurs because of my Northeastern friends in Chandigarh.
Yeah.
But firsthand, there's never been an experience, because it also comes with awareness and people you're hanging out with.
I guess so.
So I've been fortunate.
We used to have a cultural one-upmanship. That community versus that community. I have faced it, but it's okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
But now talking about the Northeast, did you actually sample the Naga chili? Did you enjoy the food in the Northeast while shooting?
I've never tried Naga chili, but I've tried this Khasi delicacy called Jado, which she introduced
Oh,
to
wow.
me. So yeah, that was very, very interesting. How's Naga chili? It's very bad.
It's
A
I mean,
very
it's
kind
great
of
for
chili.
me. I don't know how
It's
it
a
is.
acquired taste, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it's it's acquired taste. Naga food is definitely acquired taste. But I think we've had like the Assamese thali also quite a few times with
Yeah.
the fermented bamboo shoot and the pork. And
They had akhuni. They introduced everybody to akhuni. That was a great try. So, so also Anek collaborating with Anubhav Sinha. How does it work for you? Is it the director's script or your role? I know for you it's the story that matters.
Yeah.
But do you also choose the kind of directors you want to revisit and collaborate with over and over again because you know their craft?
Yes, I've done that with Shujit Sarkar, Dada, my mentor, and now with Anubhav Sir for the second time. So with Anubhav Sir, I think we'll be collaborating again and again. It'll be like a recurring thing.
Okay.
Every year, if not every year, then once in 2 years, it has to happen. Because we keep on discussing subjects, and I almost know every subject he's working on right now. So we share that bond.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to ask you about your physical transformation. We saw it in Chandigarh. Now we are seeing here is another one coming. I mean, like, wow. The new action hero.
Well, actually, Chandigarh Yashki ki physicality Anek mein use ho gayi thi because I was just shooting back to back, so it just worked. Then I had to again lose weight for Dr. G because I was playing a student, and then again gain a bit of muscle for action hero. So yeah, that's the life of an actor.
Oh, it's amazing if that's the life of an actor. Like, kudos to you, sir. And also, there's something I learned about you. You don't watch your films, huh? Why?
I don't.
Why? You're making us all watch and you don't watch it.
I don't know. I either become too self-critical, or it's just too overwhelming to watch yourself on the big screen. It happened once during Bala. I watched it in Banaras in a single screen theater. It was house full, and people were clapping, laughing, and they gave a standing ovation in the end. They were like some people with receding hairline who stood up, they started clapping in the end. Yeah, so it became too overwhelming. I was like, I'm not going to do this again, because you just become too self-obsessed. You have that God syndrome, God complex. Yes, God complex. A lot of actors suffer from that. A lot of artists suffer from that. I think you should just stay away from that. So I consume art by different artists, different actors. I don't watch my films. I don't listen to my songs.
And do you switch on and off?
I do.
How do you do that? Because sometimes, people, method actors get into that zone. For 6 months, do not bother me. I am playing this character. And I shall be like that. I've heard many people say that.
For 6 months?
Like, I'm playing this certain character. I will be in that mood. No one come close to me. And I've heard these crazy stories.
I think you'll be insane if you do that. I used to be like that during my theatre days. Because you were a student. You were just like... I used to lock myself in the auditorium for hours and practice lines and live that life. I shaved my head for a particular play, and I should just talk to the chai wala in a certain language. वो सोचते हैं पागल है ये. तो दुनिया अगर तुम्हें पागल समझने लग जाएगी if you become a method actor, I think it's not worth it. You need to live your life and have a balanced life. Otherwise, you'll be insane.
Awesome. But lastly, I'm going to wrap up now. What goes on in an actor's mind? I want to know, both of you, now you're also an actor. How can you see yourself? How do you gauge your popularity? You're written about every day. I'm sure actors Google themselves, Insta mein kitna. What is it like actually?
Okay, you normally search yourself just to see what people are saying about the film. That's what I do.
Okay.
Like when the film is releasing, I'll probably on Twitter I'll put my name or film's name and just see the reactions. And those reactions are more organic because they're not tagged you. So there's criticism and praises both. So I think it's very important to know what people are saying. If you are like oblivious कि मुझे नहीं जानना है what trolls are saying, but you should know what trolls are saying so that you can improve, learn, and just otherwise you're just living in a bubble.
And lastly, Andrea, things are going to change for you. They already have. So I mean, everybody's welcome to you. Everybody's going on to your Insta and seeing. Are you like okay with, because as he's also seen, there a lot comes with fame. So are you like get up?
It has been quite overwhelming since the trailer came out. I've received like an outpour of love and support, and encouragement. But I mean, I'm just really taking it one day at a time because I don't know what to expect. This is my first time, But yeah, I mean, we will see once the film is out. I hope people resonate with it. And I hope they think I did my role justice. I mean, that's the best I can hope for.
And she's looking at him. No, you've got the endorsement from us. He's already given it. I've seen the trailer. So way to go, girl. So hoping to see many more collaborations, and salute, sir. Many more decades.
Thank you, Pooja.
Double digit mein to aa gaye ho
Always
aap.
pleasure talking to you.
Likewise, and
Yeah.
all the best,
Thank
Andrea.
you so much.
Thank you so much.